It took me years of trial and error to understand how to learn any skill fast. In this video, I'm going to share something that will actually save you all that time. A powerful, customized three-step method that will help you whether you are actually going to learn content writing, web developing, logo designing, cooking, or anything between it. How do you actually learn fast? Learning, it's actually a word we use and we actually throw casually in our daily life. Real learning is not about reading books or watching tutorial. It's about how deeply, how effectively, and how efficiently you actually turn information into action. So for example, if you want to learn something about, in a certain period of time, it depends on you that how you actually break it, rebuild it, and then master it. Your mind actually loves patterns. And in this video, I will exactly show you how to become unstoppable and unbeatable when it comes to becoming an expert or a certified person to learn anything fast. So the number one is dissect before you digest. A lot of people, they actually try to learn a giant chunk of anything, and this is where they fail. For example, they actually sit in front of a piano, or they actually pick a pen and then they actually want to write a complete essay, or even they actually open a textbook, a language textbook, and they want to actually memorize and learn everything. This is where they fail. Your brain actually, loves patterns and skills. When it comes to skills, they are actually made of components. So what you need to do, you need to dissect everything before you digest. For example, you want to learn video editing. So instead of, rushing to open the software and then clicking on the keyboard, you need to firstly understand the fundamental, the scenarios of video editing. Firstly, you need to understand cuts, then transitions, then you need to have your knowledge about the animation, and then you need to do color grading. So this is how you actually, go for the division. You firstly dissect, then you digest, and then you master it. Number two is turn input into output immediately. A lot of people, what they do, they actually, watch tutorials, they read books, they listen to some people, even they take notes. But where they fail, they actually never try. They do not try to build or create. For example, if you watched a video about content writing, so you actually took notes, but one mistake that you did is whatever you learned from that video, you never practice it, you never create it. For example, if the video was about how to write a sentence, how to write a paragraph, how to go for keywords, these are the things. If you do not master them, no one is actually going to come to save you. So when it comes to any sort of input, you need to turn it into output immediately. You don't need to wait for someone. For example, if you actually watched a video or a tutorial about logo designing, no matter how much mess you create, whether it is 80% mess, you just need to open the software and bring your creativity into the work. You need to put your energy in your effort so you can actually come to know that whether you stand. This learning is going to be so much pure and you will learn on your own. Number three is never ever compromise on feedback. Why it took me years of trial and error to understand how to learn any skill fast? Because I was slow, because I never asked for the feedback. But with the passage of time, I realized that something is lacking, and that was feedback. You can actually get it. You can actually get it from something or someone. What I mean by that is you can actually share your work with your friend and get reviews. You can actually share your work with your mentor so he can review it. And when it comes to something, you can actually record yourself by speaking or by doing something. Then you can actually rewatch it and refine it. So this is how you actually, come to know that which things actually matter when it comes to learning so fast. So the number one is you actually, dissect before you digest. Number two is you actually turn input into output immediately. Number three is you never compromise on feedback. Get so much anxious and desperate to get constructive feedback. To wrap up the whole discussion, we have come to the conclusion that learning is not a secret, it's actually a system. And your duty is to actually understand the fundamentals and break everything into the parts you can actually digest it And then you need to take immediate action to turn your input into output. And thirdly, you need to look for constructive feedback. So whenever it comes to learning anything fast, whether it is a language, a skill, or a profession, you don't need to say that I will try it. What you need to do is you need to break it into the parts. You need to rebuild it and you need to master it. So this is how you become unstoppable, unbeatable. Top G out.